Good morning, second grade. Ms. Fogelman here today for your math lesson. Let's get started. All right, so today's learning target is that the student will use the place value picture and the open number line to complete a subtraction word problem. To begin with, let's go ahead and watch our review video. Let me make sure my volume is good. All right.
Second graders can use a number line to subtract two 3-digit numbers. Since 264 is our biggest number, the number that we're subtracting from, I'm going to place that at the end of my number line. So that's going to be the biggest number on my line. I know that I have to make hops of 128 spaces to get the missing addend. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break this down again by place value into hundreds, tens, and ones to make it easier. I'm going to start with the hundreds. So if I have 264, I'm going to hop backwards 100. And I'm going to write minus 100 to show that I'm going backwards. If I take 100 away from 264, I have 164. Now I'm going to hop 20 spaces back. I'm going to write minus 20. If I take 20 away from 60, I get 40. So 164 minus 20 would be 144. Now I have to hop 8. Well, again, we can break this up to make it easier. Since I know that 8 is 4 plus 4, I'm going to hop 4 backwards to get to 140, because it's just easier to figure that out. But I have to hop another 4. And if I take another 4 away, I know I'll be left with 136. That's using our knowledge of doubles. So my missing addend is 136. But again, say you didn't want to hop backwards. Okay, and let me just double check that that's 120 and 124 and 128 that I hopped. But say that you don't want to hop backwards because it's too confusing. Again, you can solve this like an addition. We know that if we add the two addends together, we're going to get the total. So that means if I start at this number and hop this amount, I'll get to my total. 264 is my total, so I'm putting it in the same spot. I'm going to start at the addend that I know, at 128. And I'm going to hop forward until I can get to 264. So if I have 128 and I hop 100, that'll get me to 228. So I think I can only hop 100, otherwise I'll go over. If I hop 200, I would get to 328, which is too much. So I'm going to make one hop of 100. And since I'm adding 100. So now I'm at 228. So at 228, and I need to get somewhere in the 264, I know that if I hop 40, that would get me to 268, and that's going to be too much. So I'm going to just hop 30. And if I add 30 to my 20, that will give me 258. I'm getting closer to 264. To make it easier, I know if I hop 2 more hops, I'll get to 260. So I'm going to add 2. And I land on 260. And now I know I only have 4 more to go. So I'm going to add 4. I'm going to count how many spaces I've hopped. 130, 132, 136. So my missing addend is 136.
Okay, that was just a quick review of either adding up or subtracting on a number line to figure out the answer to a subtraction problem. So today we are going to be working out this problem. Use the open number line to complete the following problem. There are 409 people waiting in line for Splash Mountain at Disney World. 182 people are girls. How many boys are in line? So let me grab my pen. All right, we know there's a total of 409 people in line. And we know that 182 of them are girls. So we know in order to figure out how many boys there are, we have to take the total amount of people and we have to subtract the number of girls because whatever's left would be the number of boys. Okay, so on my number line, I think today I'm going to choose to subtract instead of add up. So I'm going to start at this end with 409. Okay. And I'm going to first subtract 100. So 409 minus 100 is, we have 400s, 309. Okay. Now, the next thing we need to do is subtract the 80, because remember, since we're subtracting the total amount here, okay? So 409 minus 182, we've subtracted the 100. Now we have to subtract the 80. Now the biggest issue there is that trying to subtract 80 from 309 is a little difficult. So what we're going to do first is I know that if I subtract 10, I get from 309, subtracting 10, I get 299, right? Because if I add 10 to this, it's 309, okay? So 299, now that we've passed that hundreds, is a little easier to then subtract the rest of the 80, which is 70. But it's still not terribly easy, so I'm not going to subtract the whole 70 at one time. So I think I'm going to subtract 30 first. So 299 minus 30, I've got 9 in the 10 spot, minus 30 is 269. And then if I subtract another 30 from there, I get, because there's a 6 now in the tens place, I get 239. And then if I subtract, what do I have left of that? Okay, so far I have 30, 60, 70 of the 80. So I have 10 more. Whoop. And that is 229. Now, am I done? Nope, I'm not done yet because I still have this 2 here, right? 229 minus, my pen's all jumping around, 2 is 227. So 409 minus 182 is 227. All right, now you could have also done your number line where you would draw it and you would start at this end with the 182 and you would add up until you got to the 409 and you would still get 227. All right, now during Zoom today, we will also be working on the place value model. But for right now, I would like for you to make sure you go to the Google form on your math slide in your virtual classroom and take that assessment. Please make sure you have paper and pencil beside you so that you have a place to work out the questions. All right, everyone, have a great day, and I will see you soon.